Amina and Ollie had been searching for months before they finally found their dream home, a charming old house in a peaceful suburban community called Willow Creek Estate. The streets were lined with perfectly trimmed hedges, quiet sidewalks, and smiling neighbors waving as they passed. It all felt too perfect. This was no ordinary neighborhood. Everything was under the strict control of the Homeowners Association, the dreaded HOA. Their rules were legendary. No loud music, no late-night parties, no odd-colored mailboxes, and, most curious of all, a sealed basement in every house. When the real estate agent handed them the keys, he gave one final warning. Remember, no matter what happens, never open the basement door. HOA orders. Amina frowned.
Why?
What's in there? The agent smiled stiffly. Trust me, you don't want to know. Just enjoy your new home. That night, while unpacking, Ollie noticed the door in question, a thick wooden door in the hallway, sealed with a rusty iron padlock. A paper sign dangled from the handle. HOA restricted. Do not open. Violators will be prosecuted. Ollie chuckled. This is ridiculous. Why would the HOA care about our basement? But Amina stood frozen. Something feels wrong about this. I don't like it, Ollie. The next day, neighbors came to welcome the new couple, carrying casseroles and polite smiles. Among them was Mrs. Soraya, a kind old woman who pulled Amina aside and whispered, "You seem like good people. Don't open that door, child. The HOA, they are hiding something terrible." Amina shivered. What do you mean? Mrs. Soraya's eyes darkened. The last family who lived here, they vanished. After they broke the rules. No one ever saw them again. That night, Amina couldn't sleep. Her mind echoed with Mrs. Soraya's warning. But Ollie, ever curious, decided he'd find out for himself what the HOA was hiding. Midnight intrusion. While Amina slept, Ollie grabbed a crowbar. He pried off the padlock with a loud snap. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a set of stone steps descending into darkness. A foul, moldy smell rose to greet him. Flashlight trembling in hand, Ollie stepped down. The basement was huge, far larger than it should have been. Dusty shelves lined the walls. Old paintings of people hung crookedly, faces scratched out, eyes blackened. On the far side of the room sat a heavy wooden chest. Curious, Ollie opened it. Inside were aged documents, brittle photographs, and HOA files marked top secret. One file caught his eye. Project Residence Disposal, Successful Experiment Number 34. What is this? Ollie whispered. Suddenly, the basement light flickered and went out. Pitch-black darkness swallowed everything. Ollie spun around, just as the basement door slammed shut by itself. From upstairs, Amina's voice called out. But the silence below was absolute. The next morning, Amina panicked. Ollie was nowhere to be found. She called the police, but they arrived with the HOA's president, Mr. Qureshi, in tow. "We warned you," he said coldly. "This is not your concern anymore." "My husband is missing," Amina cried. Mr. Qureshi simply shook his head. He broke the HOA covenant. There is nothing more to be done. But Amina refused to listen. She found a spare key, grabbed a flashlight, and descended into the forbidden basement herself. What she found made her blood run cold. It wasn't just a basement. It was a hidden laboratory. Large freezers lined the walls. Inside were human bodies, preserved perfectly in icy silence. Names were written on each door. She gasped when she recognized some, former neighbors who had moved away mysteriously. Suddenly, a monitor on the wall buzzed to life. Mr. Qureshi's face filled the screen. "Welcome, Mrs. Amina. Since you've come this far, let me explain. The HOA is not what it seems. Our job isn't maintaining lawns and fences. We are scientists. This entire neighborhood is part of a grand experiment to engineer the perfect human citizen. Every new resident is part of the test. Those who disobey are eliminated." Amina stumbled back in horror. Then she saw him. One freezer's frosted window revealed Ollie, his eyes wide open, frozen but alive. "Ollie!" she screamed, pounding on the glass. Behind her, The lights flickered on. Mr. Qureshi stood there with armed guards. You shouldn't have come here. Now you'll join him. But Amina refused to surrender. Grabbing a hammer, she struck the nearest guard and smashed Ali's freezer open. He collapsed into her arms, weak but breathing. Together, they fought, kicking and swinging until they broke free. The lab alarms wailed. A pipe burst into flame. Smoke filled the basement. Amina dragged Ali up the stairs. Behind them, the lab exploded, fire and debris scattering everywhere. Outside, neighbors stood in shock. Police sirens screamed. HOA's secrets burned in the flames. Mr. Qureshi was led away in handcuffs. But the terror wasn't over. As firefighters doused the smoking ruins, Amina and Ali sat on the curb, trembling. What was that place? Ali whispered. The beginning, Amina said. There's more. There must be more of these HOAs out there. They vowed to uncover every hidden lab, every false neighborhood, every secret the world didn't know.